Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson at Infinity Whole Health, and please check out our podcast at Revealing Wholeness. And tonight is part two of our, how do we de-stress for the holidays? And last time, or 2 days ago, when you got the previous download, it talked about three simple things we can do externally. We talked about breathing, we talked about chiropractic, we talked about massage. Those are all things we can do externally to help dissipate stress in our life. And tonight we're going to talk about internally things. What can we do to help manage stress? And of course the answer is alcohol. I'm just kidding. It's not alcohol. But we are going to talk about how maybe to handle the alcohol of these next 3 or 4 weeks during Christmas and New Year's, about how to do it well and how to maybe help our body handle stress a little differently. Now, to get to kind of the answer of what do we do internally, we have to look at how stress really affects the body. The moment that we perceive stress or something that is stressful to us, we tend to overthink something. And that's where we talked about at the beginning, or the last one in part one, of how do we kind of get our mind out of the situation. But there's something we can very much do to help the effects of stress inside the body. Some of you have heard these commercials about cortisol production, and cortisol is a stress hormone. So when we get stressed or amped up or overthinking things or worried, we're starting to feel that pressure. It's like our brain for thousands of years before our society, if we were under that kind of pressure mentally, it was probably because a lion or something was chasing us, or we were in a tribal war, or something was going on. And so we naturally produce that cortisol with the overthinking. Well, now in our mind, we're constantly doing it, and our body literally thinks it's constantly being chased, and it has to prepare for the possibility of being mauled by an animal or stabbed by some rival tribe that's warring with us. And if that happens, our body basically, when we're mauled or stabbed, we're now bleeding. And we don't want to bleed out. So our body instantly produces cortisol, which is a vaso or blood vessel constrictor. And so we don't bleed out as fast. Our friends can get to us and kill the animal and patch us up. Or, the tribal war, we get stabbed and our friends drag us away and patch us up so we can live. We have the possibility of doing that with cortisol. But cortisol also makes us build fat, burn muscle, not protect our brain, doesn't protect digestion. It's all the things we don't want to happen in the body, but cortisol is a necessary component. Every morning, you and I, if we wake up naturally without an alarm and just wake up, it was because cortisol spiked just a little, mobilized blood sugar, and now we woke up. Our brain said, oh, I got sugar, I'm awake. And that's how it works. And over the day, cortisol drops off like normal, and then at night it's low, so we go to bed and we sleep. And then in the morning, we start seeing the light get lighter in our room, and now that spikes cortisol and wakes us up. That's the cycle. So how do we help with cortisol and stress levels? Well, if we don't eat and our blood sugar plummets, we now have to spike cortisol again to bring blood sugar back up in the middle of the day. So the fix is blood sugar management. It will always be that, and it will help us in so many ways. If you've caught any of my podcasts or any of my videos, you've probably inevitably heard me talk about blood sugar management. And so how do we manage blood sugar? We manage it by, number one, eating a couple bites of food every couple of hours. I'm not talking about 6-8 meals a day. I'm just talking about a couple bites of food, just a good snack. And what's a good couple of bites of food? Protein specifically. So almonds, walnuts fit the bill, half a hard-boiled egg, any kind of protein, piece of beef jerky, all that works really well. And as we stabilize blood sugar over and over, our body starts to maintain blood sugar better and better. If we stay away from carbs and breads and sweets, our liver starts to work better and better, and now begin to release glucose in the blood at a nice constant rate and maintain blood sugar without us eating those 2 bites of protein between meals. So if you're doing this long term and have been pretty good on some higher protein diets, a lot of good fat, a lot of good veggies, if you've been eating diets of that way, or that's your lifestyle, then you probably have pretty good blood sugar management. How would I know? You can fast for a couple of days without trouble. And so it's not really going to affect you a whole lot. You're not going to be irritable, moody, angry, any of those things. But if you get hangry, you have blood sugar management issues already. So going into these holiday seasons, eating lots of sugar and pastries and all the wonderful things and cookies that we do, and we want to enjoy that, I'll say always moderation, but make sure you manage blood sugar all the time. So at your meals, let's go for good fats, lots of veggies, a decent amount of protein, and continue that process of balancing blood sugar. Enjoy those things. If you want a glass of wine or two, okay, fine. But know that in your meal, hey, I need to make sure I'm doing some blood sugar management here for tomorrow and the next day, because the effects can be long lasting. So we want to always be managing blood sugar. Now, I'm going to post a couple of podcasts over the next couple of weeks of bonus material. So please do watch for that, because I'm going to talk in one of those about other things we can do to help manage hormones and balance that cortisol and actually help us feel younger, feel more energetic, and feel better instead of so stressed out and unhappy and hangry all the time and not being able to handle the little things that come up during the holidays. So again, use the breathing techniques, use the chiropractic, use the massage, use blood sugar management. All those things will help tremendously in you managing stress and de-stressing over the holidays. So I hope that helps. Now, for some of you, we have January coming up and everybody loves to make New Year's resolutions. So please catch our couple of videos we got coming up in January. Will be my 4 favorite diets or lifestyles that we could choose that really help us feel great, look great, weight management, all those things that we're looking to do. Check out those coming up in just a few short weeks, and I hope to see you all then. Thank you for a wonderful 2020. I know it might have been stressful, but thank you all for joining in if you have and being a part of our podcasts and our videos. I really, really appreciate it. Please shoot me a line, text me if you have any questions, email me. All those things are great. Keep the questions coming. As I see those, I will do more and more videos based on what you all tell me you want to hear nutrition-wise and simple things that we can share with you. So until then, I'm Dr. Troy Munson at Infinity Whole Health and our podcast, Revealing Wholeness.